The wind was a whisper, the ocean a distant murmur as 5 friends, Ethan, Jenna, Marco, Sam, and Lily, stepped onto the damp, weather-beaten docks of a small coastal town. They had planned this trip to escape the suffocating routine of city life, lured by the promise of serenity that only an off-season seaside town could offer. Ethan, the unofficial leader of the group, had found the town online. No flashy ads or reviews, just a quiet mention on a travel blog. It seemed perfect, a hidden gem waiting to be discovered. As they walked through the narrow cobblestone streets, the quaintness of the town started to feel unsettling. Most of the shops were closed, their windows dark and dusty. The few locals they saw hurried past with wary glances, muttering to themselves. Jenna shivered, pulling her jacket tighter. "This place is kinda creepy, don't you think?" "It's just the off-season vibe," Marco said, though his voice lacked conviction. They checked into an old inn that had clearly seen better days. The innkeeper, a gaunt woman with hollow eyes, handed them their keys without a word. Her bony fingers brushed against Ethan's hand, cold as the sea breeze outside. The first night, they gathered in the inn's cozy but dimly lit lounge. Marco found a dusty guitar in the corner and strummed a few chords. Laughter filled the air, a stark contrast to the silence that seemed to envelop the town. Sam, always the curious one, suggested a midnight walk to the beach. "It'll be an adventure," he said, eyes gleaming with excitement. The beach was a short walk from the inn, through a path flanked by tall, swaying grasses. The moon was a ghostly sliver, casting an eerie glow on the waves that lapped at the shore. They sat around a makeshift bonfire, the flickering flames casting long shadows. Suddenly, a dense fog rolled in, obscuring their view of the town. The temperature dropped, and an unnatural silence fell. No sound of the waves, no rustling of the grass, just the oppressive weight of silence. "Did you guys hear that?" Lily whispered, her eyes wide with fear. They listened, straining to catch any sound. Then it came, a low, mournful wail, rising from the depths of the ocean. It grew louder, more insistent, like the call of something ancient and hungry. Ethan stood, trying to peer through the fog. "We should head back," he said, his voice trembling. They hurried back to the inn, the wail following them, growing fainter, but never quite disappearing. As they reached the inn, the fog seemed to part, but the unease remained. That night, sleep was elusive. Ethan tossed and turned, dreams filled with dark waters and shadowy figures. He woke to find wet footprints leading from his bed to the window. The others reported similar experiences. Lily heard whispers. Marco saw fleeting shadows. Sam felt a cold hand grip his ankle. The next day, they decided to explore the town, hoping to find some explanation for the strange occurrences. They met an old fisherman who sat by the docks, mending a net. His eyes, clouded with age, seemed to see right through them. "Beware the sea spirits," he croaked. "They come with the fog, seeking souls to drag beneath the waves." Ethan laughed nervously. "You're kidding, right?" The fisherman's gaze hardened. "You'll see. The sea never gives up its dead." That evening they decided to stick together, safety in numbers. But the fog returned, thicker than before, enveloping the town in an impenetrable shroud. The wailing resumed, louder and more desperate. They huddled in the inn's lounge, the fire casting weak, flickering light. The walls seemed to close in, the shadows growing longer, darker. Then the power went out, plunging them in darkness. Panic set in. Flashlights flickered on, beams cutting through the fog that seeped in through the cracks. They could hear it now, the whispers growing louder. Closer, the sea spirits were coming. Lily screamed as a shadowy figure emerged from the fog, its eyes glowing with malevolence. Ethan grabbed her hand, pulling her towards the door. "We need to get out of here." They ran into the fog-filled night, the town a labyrinth of shadows and whispers. The spirits were everywhere, their cold hands grasping, pulling. Sam was the first to fall, dragged screaming into the mist. Marco and Jenna were next, their cries echoing in the silence. Ethan and Lily stumbled towards the beach, the fog thinning slightly. They could see the waves, hear the wail of the spirits. As they reached the shore, a dark figure rose from the water, a being of shadow and sorrow. "Why do you come here?" It hissed, its voice like the crash of waves on rocks. This town is ours. Leave or join us beneath the waves." "We just wanted a vacation," Ethan pleaded, his voice shaking. The spirit's eyes burned with an ancient fury. There is no escape. The sea claims all. Lily clutched Ethan's arm, tears streaming down her face. "Please let us go." The spirit regarded them for a long moment, then faded back into the fog. The wailing ceased. The fog began to lift. They stood on the beach, trembling, the dawn light revealing the horror of the night. The town was deserted. Their friends were gone, claimed by the sea. They left the town, vowing never to return, the memory of that night haunting their dreams. Years later, Ethan and Lily met by chance, both changed by the experience. They spoke of their friends, of the spirits, of the town that vanished in the fog. They knew one thing for certain: some places are better left forgotten, their secrets buried beneath the waves.